Every day, my brothers and sisters, marks the time. I say again, every day marks the time that America's judgment is near. You know, the president of the United States go out to the country to try to find a way of peace. You know, peace, peace, they say. When there's no peace. Now, when you see the end, brothers, you know that an end has come. When you see fire that's coming on her land, know that an end has come to these powerful rulers. The judgment is near. And everywhere, my brothers and sisters, that we look, and everything that we can think about marks the end of this world. There never was a time in history, a United States of America, that the president goes out to try to visit the heads of all of the nation that seem to be somewhat his equal. Today, he is like a criminal who has committed a crime, and he hopes for mercy from those he committed the crime against. We cannot escape our doom when it comes to teaching this holy Quran and the Bible. They show no mercy at all to the black slave. They treated the black slave worse than any human being have ever been treated. They continue to do so in the face of divine judgment. To remind you of a parable of the rich man and the poor man. As long as the rich man enjoys luxury, he cares nothing about luxury for his slave, Lazarus. Then at last, we see the rich man flew into poverty, was unable to get help even for himself. The Bible says of the poor black slave that none helped them. Now the rich man gets in the place of his one slave. Now the rich man can witness how it feels to be a poor man. The parable said at last the rich man dies. In hell he lifted up his eyes. He saw his slave and a blossom Abraham. In heaven, that slave had been promised that he would get into. It was such a beautiful heaven that the poor slave was lolling around in. See the rich man cry out to his slave to share hell with him. He asked the slave to bring him a drop of water in hell. He knew if the slave tried to get to hell with a drop of water, the slave would never get to heaven. The rich man would be happy if he received a drop of water to ease his pain and torment. But if the slave could not come to him with a drop of water, then go to some of the rich man's brother, who the rich man knew was bound to get a taste of the same hell that the rich man was in. The rich man said, Father Abraham, if you will not let Lazarus come to me, then send him to my brothers, and words to say they are bound to get hell too. So I said to you, the time is not far off. The parable is now in the working. I said to you, my black brothers, Lazarus tried to stay in a blossom Abraham because no man came to us. as the Bible teaches us. No man came to the poor Lazarus, lost found. No one aid him. I had been begging for help to borrow money, saying that we would give extreme interest. No one have come to our aid yet. See, the white man had tried to bring everyone who would give us a little help. So Allah God came to help us from ourselves. May Allah God bless us to do His will and bless us to please Him. For Allah God is the only help that we have. I do not care what interest we offer. No one wants to loan us. They know that we are well worth the loan, but they do not want us to be helped. They figure we are going too fast as it is. But oh rich man, your days have come. Your fall has come, and no one wants to help you. They do not want to come near. They see the divine destruction licking its tongue about you on all sides. So we see America is being divinely curtained with God's judgment. The Holy Quran, Surah 13, verse 41, we have visited the land and curtained the nation from all its sides. Now the foolish are still foolish until he is cast away into a narrow place and he can't turn right or left. So this hour of this day of judgment is to teach you what Jesus says in Mark 13. The sign of the end of this age. You know, brothers, some of you are so disignorant people because you don't take heed of the warning. When we talk this stuff to you, y'all think the Bible is just a fiction. It's just a storyline. I say it again. Y'all think the Bible is a fiction, a storyline, but it's proven facts of events that must come and take place. And God comes through the pure cloud and through a pure fire. And no time gonna pass with God. So you gonna have to get yourself together. Because a day with the Lord is like 1,000 years, then 1,000 years is merely like a day. You gotta understand that Satan must come right back after the 1,000 years. And you can see we are within the 1,000 years. You can see that a prophecy is given. I want you to understand that Trump, where he's legislating up to, I want you to understand this. Trump wants to be the savior of America. But Trump is the last hope for this fall of America. Believe what I'm saying to you. What Trump plans is he wants to recorporate America. He wants to depopularize a population. Why you think he did executive orders to to deportation, legal immigration. Now him and Elon wants to resegregate Black American people. because they want to force black American people into this white capitalism. Believe it if you want. But at the end of the day, don't call me a liar. See, immigration, they make up a population. That's why you didn't have a problem with them working, where they work underneath the table. See, it's we as American people, we have problem working, but they don't have problem working under the table. But now they cutting off. You see how they cutting off the legal immigration. They cutting off mine grants, sending them back to their country. They just passed a bill to cut, you know what I mean, jobs, income. You see the cost of living is still up. You see the cost of groceries going up. You see what they finna do with Rick. You see your children's, when they go to high school and hit the 11th, 12th grade, they're not going to be promised an education. But y'all not understanding what they finna do. They've been planning a scheme. They've been planning the plot. But God too is planning. Because he knows their thoughts before they was ever made. They see, my brothers and sisters, the divine destruction. Licking its tongue about you on all sides. They do not want to get near to you. Europe is standing far. It will not come near. She does not want anything of you. Europe see your doom, and she does not want any herself. Whom to the right slave master in hell, he lift up his eyes. The worst is yet to come. According to the radio and television, and according to the individual conversation, and according to the conversation heard between governments and officials, and concerning the problem of trying to find a way to peace for their people and a way to find a stop for the fall of this money market and unemployment and a stoppage to the revolution between the dissatisfied and the dissatisfied, to find a way to be able to eat and to keep the hungry from eating from under his own labor. Pacification is offered but does not satisfy. So Trump wants to purge America. He forcing government. He wants to purge America. So if to keep capitalism, they have to keep the minimum wage flowing. So when you get people that's coming out from prison, yes, they got to sign up into these felony-friendly jobs, programs they have. That's felony-friendly. But here's the catch, man. When you sign into these felony-friendly jobs, y'all, you're gonna be working. You're not. Here's the whole catch to this. They throw out 17, 18, 19 hours, right? And you sign up to these, you know what I mean, to these felony-friendly jobs, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, man, what your wages is, man. You are considered a minimum wage worker. In order for them to keep capitalism alive, they have to, you know what I mean, make sure they get the poorest people in America to work under minimum wage, man. Period. Whether you like this or not. So the worst is yet to come, with nations rejecting peace offering, and nation laughing and making mock of you, forever seeking peace and friendship. As it is written, peace a desire more than fine gold. Now to see all these things coming to pass, things that we did not know that we would see. We did not know that we would see such a Goliath, such a giant falling. Goliath had defiled the nation of the earth to come out and fight with them as Goliath did before Israel. Now nation making mock of that great giant of the earth, America. The sword within and the sword without. Trouble seemed to have no ends, with tens of millions of free black slaves crying for justice, freedom, equality from the white slave master. And the white slave master wanted to deceive the black slave and make promises that the white slave master does not intend to fulfill to free the black slave. And with the free black slave thinking that he will eat some crumbs of freedom, justice, and equality from his white slave master, the free black slave will be greatly deceived. The white slave master cannot free himself from his enemy, not to think of this white slave master freeing himself from the consequences of the dissatisfied world. So with the worst yet to come, I said to you, my black brothers and black sisters, fly to Allah and come follow me. There are some intelligent white people who know and will bear witness with me that the worst is yet to come. Look at Texas. There's a warden at his detained prison house who send the believers, Muslims, to the temple so that they may listen to the truth, which is their starvation today to accept the truth. To accept the truth. I think that this is a very wise warden. It is like the general, the Bible. The general knew that the hour was wrong and that Elijah was right. The general took 400 Elijah followers and hid and fed them with the bread in order to save them from hunger while they was in captivity. I said to you, leaders, remember the above says of this writing that the worst is yet to come. As the Bible teaches us, that a time will come that have never come before, that those who understood, their heart will be filling them with fear, and their eyes will go away and their holes for looking at things that they saw coming on their people, the trouble, destruction, and the pledge. Look at those earthquakes. They are taking place. Those earthquakes on their way here. We are feeling the earth shaking on our feet across the country. As the Holy Quran prophesies to us, you will hear it coming from a distant place. With the raging, whirling, America beset all around now with trouble and destruction which have happened. America thought that she was immune to the trouble and destruction which are going on in other nations. Now the same trouble and destruction that you read of has happened in other countries, other nations. The same trouble and destruction with their evil and gruesome sounds are knocking on the door of white America. This is why I don't have sympathy for people who wants to destroy us. And you know, the sad thing is she wants to put the fallers into her fall of this America. But we're not going to your fall. We're not standing up for you. At least I'm not. All these other people can stand up for you. We serve the wonderful counselor, and he's coming to defend us. Now the fall of America continues. In Washington, D.C., a speech May 29, 1959. The follows are excerpt from a speech I delivered before a gathering of well over 10,000 people at the Arena, Washington, D.C., Sunday, May 29, 1959. My people and I are here to fulfill a promise made long ago. I'm here to bring you the truth, and I'm here with a solution to the problem of the so-called Negro and his white slave master. You are seeking something. You are seeking an answer to your 400-year problem of slavery, servitude, and fifth-class citizenship. I'm here with a solution to that problem. How good it is then for black brothers of like minds and similar burdens to get together for a spiritual feast. For more than 400 years, your plea for justice, freedom, equality, a decent place, and the sun like thunderclaps sounding in dark valleys of Lebanon. Yet there have been no answer. Never in history of human, evil has so many asked for jest, so loud, so long, and receive in return so little, if anything, at all. The church have failed you. Christianity have failed you. The governments of white America have failed you. You have not received justice from any quarter. As prophesied, you, my fellow black men, are as sheep amongst wolves, as it to be expected. Every wolf is taking a bite of you. You approach the Senate, the House, the White House. You ask for justice, you get injustice. All our prayers have come to nothing because we have presented out of ignorancy. We have not known the true God. We have not known who is our brothers. We have not known who is our enemies. We have not known who is God, nor have we known who is this devil. And in a nutshell, we have not known the truth about God, the devil, until that truth is made plain to us. A prayer for justice will forever go unanswered. We will be the subject of scorn and laughter. But now it should be ever so clear that the politics will no more solve our problems than it did the difficulties facing Israel during her bondage in Egypt. We have come to the bank of extinction. We must now adhere and make the reprisal of our way of life if we care anything for ourselves, our life, our people, our race, the future of our property, wives, and children. Justice is, yet man has saw this mean in substance since time begun, that justice was not more than the wish of the strongest members of society. Jesus equated justice with brotherhood. We see William Shakespeare saw it as a matter of mercy. I'm here to tell you that justice is the eventual working out of the will of God as indicated in the fundamental principles of truth. Justice is the weapon God will use to bring judgment upon this world and purpose and consummation of his coming. Although we are the chosen of God, when it comes to justice, the so-called American Negro are the most deprived people on the planet Earth. And if justice prevailed, there will be no need for a day of judgment to come today to plead, not to the unjust judges of the world, but to that just judge, to give the black man of America justice. And that just judge is Allah God. We have come to an end of the day of unjust judges. Even though it may offend some, must know the truth of it all. The truth hurts the guilty. According to the saying of Jesus, the truth will make us free. The imperative needs is for a clear cut, a definition of that truth that will make us free. We must distinguish between the truth and the false so called truth that have been handed down to us from generation by our slave masters. We have been falsely taught the truth was the matter of Jesus' birth and death. It has been taught, and this is also false, that the truth is the revelation of Christianity. Neither of these is the truth, and see, neither of these will make you free. The truth to freedom is the knowledge of God, and the devil truth of yourself, others, and the real religion of God. How mistake you are to assume that Jesus was the final words of truth. Jesus himself admitted he could not tell it all. Yet he promised that God would send one who would not only reveal the ultimate truth, but who will reveal it to the people lying in the mud of ignorance and shame. See, we the fools of the world will be the first to know that truth, not the rise of this world. This is not called for often, for when God has said he will reveal his truth to the fools of the world, it was a blessing and an insult to us, and all this name us his chosen people. Doubt it is that the problem of this black man in America has set off an ear of troubling throughout the world. Till your problem is solved, there will not be peace for anyone. There will not even be peace for these right race of people. Today, then, is a new day drawing in a new world. For the old days in the old world have passed away. See, the new days in the new world, if you please, cannot come into full means until justice comes to our people. The burden is not the oppressor alone. Much of it is upon us. Time have come when we must speak or die. Our leaders, the so-called leaders, are choked by fear. Such a leader is not worth the salt that lavish his bread. This fear is the root of their failures to tell you the truth. Now the truth must come out. You have misunderstood the Bible. See, Christianity is a white man's religion. It contains no starvation for the black man. For this very reason, the prayers of your preachers to the government, Father, the Son, Holy Ghost have fallen on deaf ears. Now I ask you, what good is Christianity to you and to me at that religion? And the God of that religion would not defend us against lynching and rape. Indeed, we would be a fool to believe and trust such a religion and such a God, knowing that he bestows all his blessings upon our enemies. We are taught to look forward to a starvation that does not exist. Christianity offers you starvation after death. She must go down to this earth and rot. That kind of starvation I don't want. See, I will not give you 2 cents for it. Any man that will work hard all his life praying to God to take and get him home beyond the grave is a fool. I'm sorry if you think ill of me, but the truth is all I'm going to speak. The black man in America is in a terrible condition. He's blind, confused, wondering about at high noon on Judgment Day. If Judgment Day was not here instead of some remote hour to come, I would not bring you this message at this hour. Elijah is here because this day of judgment is here. What a sorry spectacle we make before God and the nation of the world. Here we are upwards of 20 million black Americans. We have given a blood, sweat service for 400 years in a vain hope that one day justice will be ours. And when Cold War sound, the black soldiers stood. Plains of Europe, Asia, Africa, America have been fertilized by his blood. Yet the governments of the nation for which he fought and who calls, he died, allow his sons to be lynched, and then add salt to the wound by concealing the identity of the lynchers. More, the government seeks out the lynchers and then turn them over to their fellow men who share the lynch cause and motives. Daughters and wife are lynched before our eyes. See, the government will not put a stop to it. They'll allow the lynchers to lynch you and me if we are charged with attempt to rape one of them. The lynchers live right next door, down the streets, and up the alley, yet they are not brought to justice. See, all this grief you and I must suffer. See, all these burdens we must bear. See, it's beyond comprehension that the American Government's mistress of the seas and lords of the air and conqueror of outer space and pourers of the deep bottom of the ocean is unable to defend us from assault, rape, murder on the streets of these jungles. What insane man could deny that it is now time that you and I take counsel amongst ourselves to end of finding justice for ourselves? If we continue to accept these injustices, we are nothing but cowards. If we are cowards, then we just ought to go home, kill our wife, and then commit suicide. We kill the devil in Germany. We kill his brother for him. We kill our own brothers for him. Yet we are without justice. We have nothing. See, our sons and daughters are lynched, kicked, and beaten, hung up in the sun, drowned in the river, in ponds, in lakes. Bodies are found in the streets, on the highways, in the bushes, killed by the very people from whom they slaved their life out to give comfort. When you stand up and speak a word in behalf of your own people, you are classified as a troublemaker. You are classified as a communist, as a race hater, everything but good. How can you as a people ever be anything if you are going to crush out your leaders who try to seek justice for you, even at the cost of their life? I, the Honorable Elias Muhammad, am classified as a race hater. What race and what teacher am I that you can classify it as race hatred? How can the devil said little Elijah Muhammad is teaching race hatred in the face over 400 years of his hatred of you and me? God have revealed to me the truth of this race of people and yourself, and I tell you of it, and that is the truth. Then don't say that I'm teaching race hatred. Just say I teach the truth. There's only one thing that I'm teaching today that is hatred. That's the truth of the devil. That truth I don't know. Only God knows the truth of the devil. He has revealed it to me. If that is not the truth, let the devil attack God. It is just that the truth have come to you people without the knowledge of the truth. The deceived and misled by wise, wicked scientists. I'm here with the truth from God Almighty. And for that truth, I would give my life. I would not hide that truth to introduce men to falsehood. I won't mix it up with falsehood. I said to you, my beloved brothers and sisters of this injustice, if you only reflect on what is said from the mouth of Elijah, you will not take him for insult. You will not take him for a race hater. You will take him for a beloved brother, a beloved teacher, and a beloved defender of yourself. I'm not before you myself. I have not been sent to myself. My mission is not for me, nor my mission from the devil. I have been sent by Almighty God Allah. It's a very strong and powerful mission that will bring a turning point in the history of the world at large, the black man in particular. The truth will make you free. What is that truth that will free us? You said we are already free. Abraham Lincoln freed us. See, that's not the kind of freedom of which I speak. See, Abraham Lincoln was not an instrumental in trying to free you. Remember that Abraham Lincoln won the United States of America. See, they didn't want two presidents. They didn't want two governments ruling America. They wanted only one government with one president fall. It was not that they were so full of love for the so-called nigger that he wanted to free them from the hands of his brother. But this was a good weapon to bring his brother into submission through his idea of United States and one president of that United States. So therefore, you were just lucky that you got free from servitude, slavery at that time. Otherwise, you would probably still have been in servitude, slavery. Today, you said you love Lincoln. You love him because he freed us. I said to you, my beloved brothers and sisters, see, Mr. Lincoln was not your brother. He was not your friend any more than George Washington. Now, we are 100 years up from slavery. Many of you feel proud that you have been schooled. You have a few diplomas and degrees. You can do little things educationally, but that does not get you justice in America. You still suffer injustice with an armful of diplomas and degrees from colleges. and university. Is that not right? If that's not right, I'm willing that you shoot me down, cut me down, any way you please to get rid of me. If I'm not right, if I'm right, be aware. What we want today is justice. We want the truth. Truth have come to you. You are not accepting it. Think over it. Here are a few of us who accept God to be our Lord. We accept Islam to be our religion, an old religion as old as God Himself, a religion of the Prophet, all of the righteous, a religion of freedom, justice, and equality, a religion of universal brotherhood, a religion that brother would fight and die for his brother, a religion that believed in a law that was given to Moses, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. Now, my brothers and sisters, look at this white Christianity. That law is killed today. Why? Because the devil did not want you to strike back at him. Therefore, they condemn an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth in a Christian religion. Because 20 million so-called might get an eye for an eye. That is nothing but the common law of justice. If you plunk out my eye, I shall try to plunk out yours. But you have been made such harmless slave by the teaching of the slavery religion of Christianity. We teach you to love, not to strike back, but to turn the other cheek. It teaches you to give freedom to this robber. If you take one coat, give him the coat also. Help the robbers to rob and risk the thief. That's the kind of religion that you are taught to believe. That is God religion. I said, my friend, it is a slavery teaching. It's against this very nature of you and me to stand and let someone slap us on one side of the cheek, and then we turn with enough love. I said, cowardice in us, the unsmoked cheek. See, you can't do that. See, it's against the very nature. See, white America can't do it. When white America cheeks is struck by an enemy, she prepare her army to strike back. The Christian governments of America can't do it. See, the Pope of Rome can't do it. If you and I don't wake up to that knowledge and execute the law, an eye for an eye, we might as well be dead and forgotten. It is better for you and me to just go and commit suicide than for the enemy to come in our homes, drag us down, and drag our daughters out, beat, lynch, and rape them while we stand by looking. If you and I are deprived of justice, the federal government will not punish our murderers and our rapists. I said to you, we must get together and find some way to punish them ourselves. In the case of a recent lynching in Mississippi, the government ain't just spent a lot of time trying to find a lynch body, show that he had been lynched. It would be easier to find the murderers than a dead body, according to the paper. That is all you and I have to go by. You see, the government knows the lynchers, but since finding the lynchers, according to the paper, they have turned the lynchers over to their judge or their own native states and courts, and they'll be free, as all of the other lynchers of our people have been free. We have come to a point where we must find justice for ourselves or commit suicide. See, what good is your life, my life, if we have no protection? If I was a black woman, my man was such cowards that they would not try and defend me and the children I had produced, see, I would get a shotgun and kill myself. See, this is nothing but right. See, this thing have come to a point of expulsion. I'm your brother. Your hurt is my hurt. It doesn't make any difference. See, with me what religion you are as long as you are a black man or a member of the darker people. You and I are brothers. Your hurt is my hurt. How many years have you been frightened? See, keep your mouth shut. Don't say that. It's not time. When it's going to get time for you to speak up for yourself. You cannot blame the government for not giving you anything when you are not asking for anything. The only thing that you are pleading for is a job. Is it not true that John Hawkins, the slave trader of our people, brought you and me here for just the purpose of working for this white man? He didn't bring you here to make you the white man equal. There's any evidence by now that was never intended that you be a full citizen owner or office holder in America. Your role was that of a slave. Today, even though for 400 years have elapsed, that attends underline your role in American body of politics. How patent A sight many of us make as we boast of our education and our attainment, of our measure, of our economic growth. See, all these things are illusion. Rightly reviewed, the education have been designed by their oppressors with the scientific of intent of keeping you in certitude. The economic growth have been achieved by installment buying, which is now clearly shown to be the bag of rope about the neck of the black man. Our oppressor own and control everything. We have nothing. Within is the base of our valid and foolish pride. Something must be wrong upstairs. I ask you, how in the name of common sense can we be satisfied with our road of servitude and as the helpless victims of injustice? We have simple intelligence and love for our fellow men. We must sound the alarm and let the world know we are not satisfied. We must shake off the dead, dumb, blind shackles that have beset us from generation and move towards unity of our kind. This is the truth. The truth hurts. I must speak it or die. See, I'm not afraid to die for truth indeed. I did not take this mission to try and save my life. I took the mission to fulfill truth, even at the cost of death. We must unite at all costs. Once united, we must stand fully packed as a wall against this injustice. You see how this injustice in America continuing to increase? So what God is doing, God is paying back. See, God is the power of the universe. God is paying back the wicked. You know what I mean? As thou hast done, so shall be done to you. So I don't see this when I see fire that's erupting throughout America, throughout her lands. This is her judgment. I don't care, y'all don't want to hear it. Yeah, this is white America's judgment of what she did to the so-called Negro for 400 years. This is her judgment. This is the end of their power when you see fire erupting. This is the end of you as a power. You feel the wrath of God. You feel this wrath of God. Jeremiah 23:19. See the storms or the Lord that have burst out on the heads of the wicked, a war wind sworn down on the head of the wicked. So my black brothers and sisters, we must be separate from the people who God came to see. You can't partake with these people. That's why it's so important that you stand firm in your faith and be self-control and don't partake with the wicked. Because white America, she going to try to bring the followers of America into this fall. I know they plans. See, I know this white man better than you know him. And I'm telling you what Trump is up to. You know, during Abraham Lincoln days, they didn't want two presidents. They didn't want two governments. They want one. So Trump wants to we incorporate America. Trump wants to we segregate black American people. In order to keep capitalism, they got to get poor people, middle class people, to continue to work out these minimum wages and move and push all the legal immigration, migrant people back into their country. Which means the inflation is still going to be high, your gas going to be high, cost of groceries going to be high. Rick, they cutting out your education so that your kids is not promised a graduating, so that they won't see the 11th or 12th grade. They will drop out. I'm telling you that Trump wants to purge America. This gonna be like the movie The Purge. I'm telling you what they want to do. That 5,000 stimulus is not enough to feed all American people, man. Yeah, you got to pay that back with interest. See, nothing surprised me what these people up to when they want to depopularize the population. Yeah, they put up this consent. They lie to you. They put up this propaganda. Listen to me. America's doomed. And I'm saying don't fall for her trap. Don't learn for her ways. I want you to understand. You see the buildup. You see famine is coming on her land. And I want to say like Pharaoh, the 9 signs that was given to Moses, they did not heed all the signs that Pharaoh saw. America is going to see all the signs. She going to see from rain and hail, snow, earthquakes, fire, tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis. See, fire will be the worst pledge to know that her time of power is up. So, black brothers and black sisters, we must unite at all costs. Once unite, we must stand fully packed as a wall against injustice. If your brother does not want to unite with you, then you must teach him, court him, urge him, persuade him by all method available until he realizes that he too must give his all on the altar of justice. For what if 10 million of us die in the process? The remaining 7 million or more of us will enjoy freedom, justice, and equality. Allah is significant for all our needs. That's why I do not have to beg from the oppressor or march on their capital. Put my hat in my hand. For how can I, on one hand, preach the doom of the oppressor system, and then with the other hand, acts of the oppressors? Allah is our God. We are His blessed. He has given all the world to us if we will but first give our all to Him. I met with Allah as Moses met with Jehovah. Allah has revealed the truth into me. It is up to you to believe it or let it alone. But this does not negate the fact that I know the end of it all. I know tomorrow. I will be happy to tell it to you if you will believe it. I want you to know that the oppressor are exerting every effort to prevent you and me from uniting. They do not want a united Negro. They do not want an Islamic Negro. They know that Islam freed the black man for fear. As a result, it set the oppressor teeth on edge. The power of Islam and best seen when compared to the failure of Christianity. First, Christianity have failed you because it was the religion that would first place you in slavery. Secondly, Christianity have failed you because through its doctrines of turning the other cheek, you have rendered you incapable of defending yourself in the very hour. Thirdly, Christianity have failed you because it has caused you to forsake the pursuit of justice in this world and the pursuit of this illusory and non-existent justice beyond the grave. Now, my beloved, you are faced with the same problem that beset Moses, the children of Israel, during the era of Egyptian captivity. Pharaoh did not want Moses to preach the religion of Jehovah in Egypt because Pharaoh knew such preaching would bring a damnation to this wicked kingdom. So it is that their oppressor did not want to hear the gospel of the black man. They know that this gospel one day be their undoing. Pharaoh did not want Moses to call the Jews to the wall to wine at sundown. They knew that once the Jews were united to the name of the religion of their fathers, they will no longer abide in slavery. Pharaoh did not want Moses to teach the gospel of justice on the side of the grave. He knew that once the Jews determined in their hearts to see justice here and now, they would rise up and demand a place in the sun. So then it is with us, our oppressors are determined to keep our eyes in the sky while they control the lands on our feet. They are determined to blow us down in our practical ethic of turning the other cheek, and the better that they may smack our cheeks and rob our pockets.